My friend took this picture on the day I told my husband about getting tired of our boring life. We argued so much that we've been separated since then. Whatever I did, our picnics always ended with my mother in a grumpy mood. That's why I usually made plans with my father instead. Everyone at high school was so jealous when they saw this photo. You had to have been very lucky to get to see the famous elephant. Going together with the most popular girl in school didn't help either. Dear Moriko, why did you do that? You were so pretty and smart. My eyelids are getting heavy. I hope he lets me sleep tonight. I miss sleeping. Do you see that white thing to the right of the open pit? That thing that looks like a dinosaur fossil. When I was a kid, my dad used to bring me here for some fresh air. The first time we were here, he showed me the white patch of sand and said it used to be a baby dinosaur running from the humans. But it must have been dark, so the baby dinosaur falls into the pit and starves to death. The story made me more scared of the humans on the other side of the pit than of dinosaurs. Maybe that was my dad's intent. He used to say that in those mills and houses on the other side of the pit live humans who turn into animals at night and come and steal things from us. I wish it were those stories that I couldn't remember. Although people on the other side of the pit had left years ago, I never found out who actually lived there. I wish you were here, Dad. We could go to the other side and have a closer look.
Hey, looks like you're falling asleep. Open your eyes. This is only the 17th day of no sleeping.
Could you turn your face away? Those terrifying red eyes. Why don't you leave me alone? How long are you going to torture me?
I want to leave you alone, but I can't. Since long ago when I was a young captain, I couldn't be awake while sailors were asleep. Come on, get up, get out of bed. Don't you have a few days off from work? Go play a little at least.
Good thing I have a photo of most of my friends. Otherwise, I would forget their faces thanks to my memory problems. These days, they call it sticky notes. I prefer to call them memoranda. I have pinned my friend's wedding picture over my bed so that when I open my eyes every day, I remember that there are still people with happy lives. When I was a kid, every time I wanted to go to a classmate's birthday, I would bring one of these. The last time I tried to open the door, I couldn't remember what code I had chosen. I don't feel like thinking about this right now. Maybe sometime later. They say the quality of old vinyl are still better than these new stuff. This is only half the map. Where's the other half? My dad bought me this plant when I was born. It's grown more than I have. Hi, Miso. Nice to see you calm and not making noise. Don't worry. Erica will return in a few days and we'll take you back home. Sorry I couldn't spend enough time with you. My warm, comfy bed. I wish I could sleep on you with peace of mind. I know a laptop doesn't fit well in this game, so I'm not gonna waste my time. Alright, now I can put the map pieces back together. This is only half the map. I feel safer with the map. Come to me, my dear kidney stone. I remember the last movie shown here was The Wood Elves Battle. When I was a child, this Mr. Juggalo was my favorite actor in fantasy movies. What's under the rug? What a photograph! So this fellow Jack was friends with the elephant in the cirque. Did Jack close up this place for good? What's even more odd is that none of us ever tried to find out why.
Hello? Please don't hang up. Could you tell me where you disappeared to? What? None of my business. What do you mean you'll come back in a while? You didn't think I'd find you, huh? Well, I found your phone number on one of your spaghetti boxes. You'd written it down on the corner and thrown it in the trash. Ever since the elephant vanished, so did you. Are you in some sort of trouble? What? You don't know what I'm talking about? Frankly, I don't trust you anymore. Who trusts a man who prefers his tasteless spaghetti to my pancakes? Don't hang up. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Damn it.
Hi, little girl. What's your name? I don't think I've ever seen you around here. Even if I knew the lady behind this door, I wouldn't approach her when she is so angry. Oh, I had no idea he was so successful. He has a gig at such a popular venue.
Kurdish art connoisseur identifier system invites you to come in.
When we were in college, there was always a pizza box with a few dried out slices in my artist friend's apartment. One of those things I always loved to have. So much junk and no good vinyl to take for myself. I'd really like to know what's written on this piece of paper. But it's not a good idea to pick up everything I see. Did you know the stuff you've installed at your door is hard to figure out?
That's why I have a special welcoming message taped. Well, anything I can do for you?
Nothing especially. I just want to see what you look like now since I last saw you. Safe to say you're still deep into your electronics.
You did all that work just to see my face. Don't you want to see one of my greatest inventions?
What is it? It looks pretty finished. All the screws are in.
Yes, it's nearly done. I just need to add 4 frequencies to bring this metal creature to life.
And then what will it do?
I've named it the Nature DTMF machine. It can receive a series of frequencies, encode them and... forget it. It's of no use to you. It has no use for me. I just want to make it and put it in the corner.
Well, I have no idea what it does, but I'll take it off your hands.
It won't be done until I find the 4 frequencies. I'm tired of staring at the design sheet.
Now I think there's no problem in picking that up. One thing for sure is that he hasn't found those 4 frequencies that don't have a check mark. understand electronic music and could buy one of these pretty devices. If you're new, you may try and read this to get the news. Little would you know, this newspaper has been here for weeks. Hey, Jack. Oh, I'm sure he's going to make a remark about my name.
Welcome back. Any news from your name? Or is it still playing hide and seek?
What did I just tell you? Looks like it's now right where it belongs. But I have to remind you, it is a secret. I don't want the neighbors to hear about it.
Sure. No secret leaves this house. Especially one about the quietest resident we've ever had here.
Well, I guess that's true. For the last 6 months, I'm the only person who's entered my flat. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you something. I just remembered as I saw the closed doors of the movie theater.
What is it? I hope you're not adding something new to my responsibilities.
Why did you stop the weekly film screenings there?
Because we couldn't get the money to buy a new player. Also, the neighbors aren't very sociable. It's hard to get them all together at the same time.
I remember you had a collection of the best 35mm films. Let's set it up again. I love old technology.
A friend of mine borrowed them and never gave them back. It ruined our friendship.
Why don't you go to his house and ask for your films?
I'm over it now. No time for old films. But if you want them so much, why don't you go yourself? Take this road straight up until you get to the square. His house is one of the first houses. It's got a blue door and there's a large sign hanging on its wall.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you something. I just remembered as I saw the closed doors of the movie theater.
What is it? I hope you're not adding something new to my responsibilities.
Why did you stop the weekly film screenings there?
Because we couldn't get the money to buy a new player. Also, the neighbors aren't very sociable. It's hard to get them all together at the same time.
I remember you had a collection of the best 35mm films. Let's set it up again. I love old technology.
A friend of mine borrowed them and never gave them back. It ruined our friendship.
Why don't you go to his house and ask for your films?
I'm over it now. No time for old films. But if you want them so much, why don't you go yourself? Take this road straight up until you get to the square. His house is one of the first houses. It's got a blue door and there's a large sign hanging on its wall.
Everything in this flat smells old. This clock is always behind, and the calendar on the table is from 6 years ago. Jack drinks so much coffee and tea that he has to keep the fan on all the time. I totally remember the day Jack put up this poster. I even bought the text myself. Jack is always proud that his son, Arash, followed a path that he was not able to follow. He went to a different continent a few years ago and is working on his second movie now. If my name is scared of dogs like I am, it wouldn't have escaped that way. It's a dead end that way anyway. Hi Marta, are you still looking for your cat?
I can't take this anymore. How can a cat go straight up a tree and never come down?
He must have come down when you weren't looking.
No way. I waited under that tree for hours. I was dizzy for days. I looked up at it so long.
A cat can disappear in a blink of an eye, especially male cats who forget their owners this time of year. But he'll be back.
My cat wasn't like that. He'd never go more than 100 yards from here. Also, how would he get out with that dog guarding the end of the alley?
I walk these streets a lot. If I see him, I'll bring him back.
That would be so kind of you. I hope you find your name soon, too. I have heard a lot about your ordeal.
Yeah, thanks. No one was supposed to know about my problem. I know who's been talking. All that these cats see from up on the roof. I think many people would like to have a tanuki as their town symbol. Many years ago, Mayor Malvin erected the tanuki statue and named the square the Climbing Star Square. Was I falling asleep? No, just my eyes going blurry. Perhaps I will have to drag myself like a semi-conscious corpse through life forever and forget the joy of sleeping. I wish I could collapse right here and no one would bother me for a few days. What if I've fallen and hit my head once and lost a part of my memory? Then why do I not forget other things? If someone asked my name right now, I might confuse everything.
Miss Mizuki? Miss Mizuki? Hello? Miss Mizuki, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to someone else.
Well, let's get back on topic. Can you tell me to whom Wagner wrote of his fascination with Schopenhauer and Tristan?
Franz Liszt.
Huh, impressive. Now tell me, Wagner's wife wrote that he remained unsatisfied with which opera?
Tannhäuser?
Huh, how did you know?
I hope a little sugar won't affect my brain.
Parsifal, an opera in 3 acts.
Whoa, enough. I don't think I'm ready to memorize the whole history of music. Eat one of these and you'll be full the whole day. Good thing there's this radio that plays music other than Wagner's. Oh, you again. Well, at least you've hidden those bloody eyes of yours behind shades.
Don't worry. I know everything. I know you can't sleep anymore since you saw me that night underneath your bed. And you can't tell anyone. Someone who doesn't remember her own name and sees an invisible old man will end up in the madhouse.
You trapped me. How can I get rid of this insomnia?
Your sleep is tied to mine. As long as I'm awake, you're awake. But worry not, a sailor who stared into the horizon so long that her eyes have turned into the color of the sunset can endure much more than this. Still trying to get rid of me?
A good sleep is what I've needed for days now. So, yes, I will find a way. If it wasn't for this elephant that vanished one night from the zoo without a trace, maybe our town's name would have never gotten into the newspapers. The Simple Donuts at Mr. Donut are some of the most popular donuts I've ever known. It's nice to have a drink every once in a while. My old sister's only cut paper now. All God's children should be able to play by the sea.
Have you seen my cat anywhere?
Not yet. I'm sure he'd come to me if he sees me, though. Don't want to talk to me? Don't be scared. I live in this building.
I can't talk to you because you don't have children.
Would you like a donut from Mr. Donut?
I love those donuts. Don't tell my mom I had one.
I won't. Don't worry.
Are you looking for Mr. Spaghetti too?
Mr. Who? Has someone disappeared again?
Didn't you hear his wife shouting on the phone? He was the only neighbor without children, but I was friends with him because he liked animals. And whenever he made spaghetti, he would bring me some.
I did hear his wife, but thought it was just a domestic quarrel. Sounds like an interesting man. Do you miss him?
Of course I miss him. How are you living in this building and still didn't realize Mr. Spaghetti ran off?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't been paying a lot of attention.
Uh-huh. Well, if he comes back, could you give him this film canister? We're moving out.
Sure. By the way, I should bring you some homemade donuts. Then you'll have two grown-up friends, Mr. Spaghetti and Miss Donut. It might be a good idea to have a look inside this box. This looks like a useful box to store tiny little things in. Hey! What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to stay in the inventory? Stay still! No living soul can move as much as these kidney stones. How much noise it makes. How much noise it makes. I wish I could see what's recorded on this reel. I don't want to waste my time using two irrelevant things with each other. don't want to waste my time using two irrelevant things with each other.
Are you here to talk about music, or do you need anything?
Could I please get some flour? I'm in a rush, but I'll be back someday to talk art. Now that I got flour, I have no excuse for not making donuts. There's nothing scarier in this world than a bald and blind doll. After breaking into the house, I'd better not touch anything before meeting the owner. After breaking into the house, I'd better not touch anything before meeting the owner. The evidence shows the resident of this place has tried anything and everything to become an artist. These paintings on the ceiling show this place used to be glamorous. I don't know how it's ended up like this. Order is the only thing you can't see in how this place is organized. The china reminds me of my grandmother's house. Glad to see these things still exist in the world. I wish there was a black monster puppet too. Snow in a war zone. What else could go wrong? They must have been a rich family to have their portraits painted. I love the feel of this painting. Hi, hope I'm not intruding. The door was open. I was wondering if...
Of course, come in, my dear. But of course you're not intruding. After all, we know each other.
We do? Oh yes, you own the restaurant on 20th Street.
Yes, that's right. I lived a very different life back then. Did you know that I employed over 30 people in that restaurant? And I only ever met 2 of them? The young man I made manager, and...
Me? Wow. Yeah, I remember. Actually, I remember the day I met Yuel. It was my 20th birthday. So it was 5 years, 4 months, and 2 days ago.
25. Wonderful. I remember you didn't want to get any smarter.
You still have a good memory. intelligence was the only thing I was sure of in myself back then.
I knew you were very smart from the first moment I saw you at the door holding a tray. I'd like to test you. May I?
Sure, I'm curious how I'd score. It's been a while since I had to be smart.
When I retired, I picked up this hobby of connecting things together and making strange stuff. See this noisy TV? With a secret code, you can connect it to the global TV network of 100 years ago.
Are you kidding? There was no TV 100 years ago.
Don't doubt an old man who's got a death ticket in his hand. TV or not, the waves are still floating in the air.
Maybe you're right. Let me have a closer look at your inventions. They must have been a rich family to have their portraits painted. It might come in handy someday. Oh, the threads reveal the teddy bear. Looks like I have come close to solving the dilemma. Why isn't its belly soft like a teddy bear's? My old scissors only cut paper now. Any sharp object could be useful someday. Order is the only thing you can't see in how this place is organized. Order is the only thing you can't see in how this place is organized. The keypad is not functioning right now. Even if it doesn't open any lock, it's still a pretty key. Innocent, inanimate eyes. Are you trying to tell me something?
I can't believe it. It's always earthquakes on TV. Come over here, girl. Watch what you're going to see all the time until you get to my age.
This is really strange. How did this happen?
What's strange about it? Don't you ever watch news?
I mean, how did you connect those things, and how are we watching footage from 100 years ago?
All that matters is that you saw it. Oh, did you hear that? Something fell. I think it's the lingering effects of quake waves.
Seriously, I'm not buying this anymore. Let me have a look around your flat and see what's going on. Huh, lucky this thing fell. So the films were hidden here all alone. If I don't say anything, he won't notice they are missing. I hope he won't forget he promised to open a movie theater in return for this. Hey, Jack, can you believe your friend used to be my boss?
No way. What a small world. So you were able to use your relationship to get the films?
Well, I used my smarts. By the way, you wouldn't believe the things that happened in his house.
I do believe. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that old man is crazy. Anyway, thanks for returning my collection. Didn't want to admit how much I miss these silly old things.
Lately, whenever I lay down, I see a horrifying old man with red eyes by my bed. I prefer not to sleep so I won't see that creep. Good thing I have a photo of most of my friends. Otherwise, I would forget their faces thanks to my memory problems. These days, they call it sticky notes. I prefer to call them memoranda.